Hey everybody, today I'm going to be explaining my fiction series. So to start this, we have to go back to the year 2048. Now America is going through a tough time as the Chinese are growing to be a bigger and bigger threat by the day. With the Chinese engineering viruses of some sort, and a war over world's resources seeming to happen. Then, in the year 2048, during the election, a person known as Bishop is elected. Bishop changes the country completely. He makes it go from a country dependent on oil to changing it into a nuclear industrial powerhouse. Not only does he use nuclear, but he uses hydro and other clean resources like wind and solar. Not just fossil fuels, but mainly nuclear energy. Now, these people, the Saudi Arabians, do not like that very much. So what Saudi Arabia does is, along with Turkey, another person who does not like America's new nuclear energy, decides to start raiding U.S. ships in the Mediterranean and Red Sea. Now, at first, the U.S. just thinks this is random piracy, like what happens in Somalia today. Oh, hey, Huck. Hi, boy. You want to join us in our story? Come on, come on. Such a good boy. Anyways. Hi, boy. What's the matter? Food, water? I just want to get a pet. Alright. Continuing on. Now, Bishop is in charge of this huge company known as Atomic Industries. Atomic Industries not only makes and sells everything that nuclear power plants make and use, it also sells the engines for hydro cars. It sells... What's the matter? It sells lots of other nuclear-run appliances. They also help manufacture blimps. Atomic Industries and Bishop make airship travel a huge thing again, and it quickly spreads all over the Western world. Now, there are two cities that mainly govern the Atomic Industries, and that's Bishop City, Florida, and New Bishop City, Texas. Bishop City, Florida is more of a residential public place, but it also serves as the headquarters for the company, but mostly the headquarters for the part of the company that makes engines and appliances, not the other part. In Texas, they are responsible for helping to construct nuclear reactors, selling the parts that make blimps, and the headquarters for that is in New Bishop City, Texas, specifically in the Trinity Plaza. Now, the Trinity Plaza has 3 huge towers, one in the north, one in the west, and one in the east. And in the center is this lovely courtyard. Now, Saudi Arabia and Turkey decide that they are going to destroy this tower so that nuclear reactor production will slow down and the U.S. will start buying more oil. So, they do it. Trinity Plaza is destroyed. It's a horrific thing for Americans all over. So, once going over the security footage from what's left of any cameras or witnesses, they find out that Turkish nationalists entered the building 5 minutes before the place blew up and exited 1 minute before it blew up. So they confront Saudi Arabia and Turkey. They confront these people that destroyed the plaza, and they confess. So then the U.S. says to Saudi Arabia and Turkey, stop raiding my ships in the Mediterranean and pay for what you've done. Give us money to rebuild and compensation. And the Saudis say, if you start buying oil again, basically. So the U.S. is like, well, they're not going to help us at all. We're going to war. So the U.S. declares war, and they are backed by basically everybody that uses Mediterranean ports. They're backed by Greece, they're backed by Italy, France, Spain, Portugal, the UK, Germany, Russia, Brazil, even China supports them secretly. While not supporting officially, they do actually like what the US is doing a lot, as now it opens the Mediterranean to less Turkish attacks. So, the U.S., alongside with Greece, Israel, and Italy, start launching campaigns against Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Egypt, while Saudi Arabia is backed by Iran, Iraq, Syria, Jordan, Palestine, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Sudan, as well as Libya and Algeria. Oh, and Tunisia, my bad. Basically, all of these countries in northern Africa and the Middle East do not want Americans having nuclear energy, and they also want to stop the spread of Western culture. So, they continue raiding and bombing, but then the Americans send support to the Greeks and start pushing through. They take Istanbul back. They take Western Anatolia, and then the U.S. drops a nuke on Ankara and the capital of Saudi Arabia, while Greece takes the city of Alexandria, and Italy takes Tunisia and northern coast of Libya. India helps out by starting to attack Pakistan, and Russia in the north also attacks Pakistan. As well, Georgia... Oh, what are you doing, boy? Hi. You can't step on the maps. I need them for later. Alright. Come on. Alright, off the maps. Come on, boy. Why are you in here too, Violet? Hi, girl. Brody, do not start talking. Alright, so, as we continue on with this, after the U.S. nukes Saudi Arabia's capital and the Turkish capital of Ankara, Pakistan is getting overwhelmed by India and Russia and surrenders. Iran has a rebellion which results into the country basically carving itself into three separate entities. Azerbaijan is annexed by Armenia and Georgia and Russia as well, and the Saudis take some of southern, while Saudi Arabia is left in huge debt, and Turkey is carved up. Istanbul, which is renamed to Constantinople, and Western Anatolia is given back to Greece. Cyprus gets a little port town on the southern Turkish coast. Lebanon, who helped, gets little bits of Turkish land scattered around. And the Russians temporarily occupy the northern coast of Turkey. So, you may be saying to yourself, well, you probably aren't because you probably didn't know this, Western Anatolia and the city of Istanbul, which is now renamed Constantinople, has a larger population than Greece. So to combat this, the Greeks and Americans came up with a plan, especially since the fear would be that Turkish people would revolt and easily take over Greece or start other problems in the new occupied lands. The Greek government gave all Turkish citizens 1 year to remove themselves from society, put their homes up for sale, find new homes in new Turkish, Saudi Arabian, or Egyptian countries. They were also to look for jobs and basically set up in communities where they wanted to be. So, many complied. Over 92% of them complied. Basically what they did was, if you were a Turkish citizen, you would resign from your job, contact a real estate agent, put your home up for sale, and then go down to your local officer's station, where there would either be a bunch of U.S. soldiers and officers or a bunch of Greek officers and soldiers. Now, they would give you a ticket, well, an option to choose from 4 transportation methods. 1, train. You would get a nice, furnished, kind of like a small cabin with a bunk bed, with 2 sets of bunk beds. They would also give you the option, Huck boy, the option for an airship, a blimp, which you would also, again, get a cabin. There was also the option for boat, and then the option for just a plane if you didn't want to take a long trip. Huck, no more, boy. No more. So, once you booked that, you had a year left to remove yourself from the society and just enjoy your time. But obviously you can't move 30 million people at once. So during this year, the Greek government, Greek, U.S., and British governments all worked to build railroads and highways from Western Anatolia going to what was left of Ankara. So once the year was up, trains, buses, planes, blimps all started loading people up. But obviously, it's going to take a lot longer than this. But then there's also going to be people who don't comply. Those who don't comply are found and given the option to either sign up a bit late or face jail time. Most people that are late for the ticket check-in are usually old or don't really get out much. Or they're the medically ill. The medically ill got a pass. They got to stay 10 years instead of 1 because it's not really their fault. They aren't allowed to. They can't move. So those guys were given the option, but then there were also people who were able to do it, had the ability, just refused. They refused to leave. They were tracked down and they were given the option again: get the ticket or face jail time or fines. Many got the ticket, many chose fines, little chose jail time. Then there was the people who tried to avoid the ticket and assaulted police officers in their escape. These people, These people, Ellie, these